Okay, so the question I get asked the most is what controller I use. I also get asked a lot whether I have flight assist on or off, and right now I see no reason to turn it off. I'm quite capable of strafing and flying sideways using the standard controls with flight assist on. When that might change is if Frontier implement fuel usage, because in order to strafe right now I have to fire the jets, the thrusters on my ship all the time. With flight assist off, you turn it off, and then basically you drift, and there's no additional firing of your thrusters unless you change direction, rotate the ship, etc., etc. So if they do implement that, then I'll probably start turning flight assist off, but at this point I see no benefit to it really. So I'm going to undock here so I can give a reference point to for you to see movement in space.
Engines engaged.
Okay, so here we are outside Beagle 2 landing. Now I'm going to show you my controller. It's a single controller. I use the keyboard and the T16000M, which is made by Thrustmaster. Now you'll see little labels all over the stick, and at first I needed those, and I put them on myself, but now I don't really look anymore, but it's still useful, you know, to kind of have them there. Now the features of the stick are quite interesting. This grey part here and this panel here, you can actually switch those round so it can be a left-handed stick too. Obviously this is suited for right-handed, but in the box it comes with everything you need except from a screwdriver to actually switch those over. The way that I have the control set up, this is primary fire, this is secondary fire, this is to select the target, which is right in front of me. This is to select the threat. So basically, when on your scanner you have a target flashing white, that's somebody who is firing at you. This will normally select them. The point of view hat here, which has obviously 4 directions, I use those for directional thrust, which I'll show you. And then down here we have 6 buttons. This opens the target menu when I'm looking to the left side. This opens the system menu, and this is the sensor menu, which you know, I can actually show you now. That's the target menu, obviously, system menu, sensor menu, which basically just zooms in on the sensors. Now when you're within those menus, you have previous and next. Oops, and I just pressed my hard points, which I wouldn't do if I was using my left hand, which I normally do, but I'm recording with that one. So I'll just close this again and obviously get rid of my hard points again. And over on this side, landing gear, cargo scoop, lights. This is the boost, which is kind of like an afterburner. This is Super Cruise, and this opens the jump drive. So basically, if I've selected something in the system map, then that's basically where this button will take me. With cruise, I have to select something currently in the target section, but I assume at some point there will be a solar system, like a system map, where you can select something and then you can super cruise to what you've pre-selected as well, rather than going through the target menu. Gear's really nice. I mean, I just actually undocked, and if I bring up the system menu and go to functions, you can see that the landing gear is currently deployed. If I just press this button, now it's retracted, and you know, I don't have to take the time using the cursor keys, which is what I use to navigate the actual menus that I've selected with the joystick, to, you know, sort of get around those things. So yeah, basically I use the joystick for pretty much everything, and then I have the cursor keys to sort of navigate within those, and then obviously enter to select, and then I have the keys 1 through 9 for different levels of thrust. So basically 1 I think is 100% backwards, 5 is 0, and 9 is 100% forwards. And then obviously I control thrust manually with the slider here. So there we go, looking at Beagle 2 landing. Now, I talked about the point of view hat and how it does directional thrust. If I can show you quickly, I'll push it to the left, push it to the right, and down, and up. Okay. The thing with that I find really useful about having that on the stick the way it is that I can strafe really easily. I'm currently pointing towards the station, and if I decide to, you know, push up and right, I can keep the doorway, you know, in my sights just by moving the stick around a little bit. You know, I might have to roll occasionally and things, but there's absolutely no problem keeping that there and just using the sideways thrust. Now, one thing I didn't mention about the stick yet is that you can twist it, and I use that for roll, which I find it just feels natural, really. You know, I have absolutely no issue with the controller being set up that way. Now, my brother said that it would feel natural to him doing it the opposite way, where this controlled the ship yaw, and this would be the roll. But it just doesn't feel right to me to have it that way around. And so there you go. That's how the controller is actually set up. I might try to actually video my joystick on a future combat run, so that you know, you can actually see sort of picture in picture of the joystick. I think that'll be quite interesting. But there you go. I think this joystick, it's in the US, even though I have a British accent, I do live in the US, and this joystick was under $50, you know, which is nothing really for a, you know, really nice controller. And there you go. Okay, so the question I get asked the most is what controller I use. I also get asked a lot whether I have flight assist on or off, and right now I see no reason to turn it off. I'm quite capable of strafing and flying sideways using the standard controls with flight assist on. When that might change is if Frontier implement fuel usage, because in order to strafe right now I have to fire the jets, the thrusters on my ship all the time. With flight assist off, you turn it off, and then basically you drift, and there's no additional